YouTube pranks is probably one of the most annoying trends that I've seen happen over the last few years, as YouTube pranks obviously can be really funny or can just be really good in general, right? I think some of the staged ones are pretty good, but also there's a lot of ones that don't really affect anyone's lives that are pretty good as well. There's like the ones where they'll go to Walmart and they'll do an interview and they'll make a guy say something wacky backwards, and it's just like ha ha funny, but it doesn't really affect anyone's life or anything like that. It's just something that doesn't matter. But then there's ones that do affect people's lives. There's ones that are chronically online takes that are just insanely weird, where they go they'll like go to a place, right? And when they go to this place, they'll do something that's just like, how do you mess with the workers as much as physically possible? Or how do you just make someone's life 10 times harder, whether that's an employee or a person? And I think there's like obviously sometimes when like it's a good prank and someone's just like overreacting, like a lot of people with like being recorded in public, for example. Recording in public, at least in the USA, is completely legal. And can it be annoying? And can I see a lot of annoyances behind being recorded in public? 100%. But like people will go to like Walmart and then be mad that they're being recorded. It's like, bro, there's like 600 cameras on the ceiling, and stuff like that. It's just you can kind of sympathize with them, but it's harmless at the end of the day. Where there's people that will go out of their way to kind of reiterate myself here a little bit, but just ruin people's day. So who we're talking about today is a YouTuber. I don't know his name exactly because reading through the article, oh, his name is Brian Arnett is the name, and he is getting sued by In and Out for basically posting a YouTube video where he goes to In and Out and makes himself look like a employee, and then basically just talks bad about the business and like does weird stuff. Now, I will say that this is probably going to get thrown out in the court realistically, just because of how wacky it is. So let's get into this a little bit here. So if we look here, on June 20th, the burger chain filed a federal lawsuit against the YouTuber Brian Arnett, which alleges he posed as a in-out employee, harassed customers, and posted the company described it basically just doing like some weird stuff, like in the store, right? So with this being said, you would think, oh well, like maybe he went to the store and he was recording and he was like wearing an outfit, like that's the end of it, and that's kind of what I thought when I originally saw this. But no, no, no. Apparently, and this video has been taken off of YouTube, or I would show it here. So apparently, he went into the store, posed as a employee, said that the store had cockroaches, said that they had mold, said that basically there was a bunch of wrong stuff going on in the store, and then he proceeds to like put his feet in like a tub of lettuce at the store, and it's just like, dude, what part of you makes you think, yeah, let me go to the store and just like harass the workers and make their job 10 times harder, right? Because the lettuce and stuff like that, unless he's like doing really good, and like I said, I can't see the video because it got taken off of YouTube. So unless he is cleaning it up himself, then I think that's okay. It's not illegal to wear a costume, and to basically say things about a business, especially because it's going to be really hard to prove defamation, right? Like going up to a random guy that and being like, yeah, they have cockroaches, and then you show them like a rubber cockroach. It doesn't really go for a defamation case. So I can see this going one of two ways, right? I can see this either going where they pull the video and he's doing some heinous stuff. I mean, he's like bringing real cockroaches in. He's stomping on lettuce, kicking it around the store, like all that stuff. And they're probably not going to be able to sue him because I think that's just like a little inaccurate. But they probably could get him permanently trespassed from like all in and outs across the country. He would probably be like the first guy ever to have his picture on the wall of In and Out. Be like, if that guy comes in, you gotta sweep him out the door. You go on get, like that type of thing. But I think if a video comes out with this and it's like he's has like rubber cockroaches and he's just walking around in a in and out employee costume, and like either way the feet and the lettuce thing is just like strange. Like I get, it's like the Burger King foot lettuce. Like I get that that's what they're going for. It's not 2014 anymore. I'm just sorry to say that. Like it's funny in the context of the video that was originally in, but it's not funny if you're just like going to annoy employees. Now you did see like one person do this. I think they did it at like a Burger King, right? And they cleaned it up after. And I think they also got permission from the Burger King, which is like a W. So I'm very curious to see how this like really goes through, because from my understanding he just like went to the store and like randomly did this and like called it a day. So I just don't really know what legal action they could take against like YouTubers, but I'm also glad to see companies standing up for themselves, Just because you're a public company or a company in general, I don't believe that means that you should be allowed to be essentially bullied by YouTubers because they like want to make content. Because I agree with a lot of the laws, like I agree with the right to press and stuff like that, but I also think everybody can look at it and be like, okay, there is a time when it crosses a line. Like you're recording like people randomly, and they're like, "Yo, can you not put me in the video?" And then like you like complain about it or something like that. I'm saying like 100 times. It's my favorite word today, apparently. But yeah, it's just so strange to me that people do this, right? And then usually there's no consequences behind it. So I think that's why I'm so curious as to what will happen in this case. Because if they actually sue them, I could imagine that we're going to see way, way, way less amount of people doing stuff in public without permission when it comes to like larger businesses, right? Because In and Out, Walmart, Kroger, whatever it is, they're gonna win a court case against you. Like they just are. No matter how good your lawyer is or whatever, unless the judge just throws it out instantly, they're going to win the court case against you, especially if there is no jury, which there probably won't be for court cases like this. And I think that's kind of a W, because like I said before, I think there is times when people just take it like way, way too far, and under those circumstances, there should be consequences instead of it just being like, well, it's for entertainment, ha ha ha, it's for YouTube. I think a good example of this is like the people who would stay overnight in stores, like the reason people stopped doing that is because people started getting arrested for doing it, so it made sense why people stopped doing it. And I think if we have more consequences for like going and basically making everybody's lives harder, then I think that's fine. But I also think that if a video comes out and the guy's just like walking around in a in and out costume, just kind of memeing a little bit, cleaning up after himself, they're just overreacting, And so it's two sides of the same coin, and it's a very fine line that you walk with like a pranks channel where it's genuine, because it's like at what point is the prank just like you are super annoying and it's no longer a prank anymore. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to rant about today was Brian Arnett getting sued by In and Out. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about, I don't know, like the pranksters for YouTube just in general. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful day. Peace.